What up, fam? It's your girl T, aka the nappy-headed jojoba, coming at you from the not-too-distant past. This is a video I pre-filmed since I am currently in Europe at the time you're seeing this. Quite some time ago, I'd say damn near a year ago, I did a Shit I'm Loving Right Now Volume 1, which was basically just a favorites video. Because I am difficult, it takes a long time for things to become a favorite for me. It's not realistic for me to do favorites videos every month or even quarterly necessarily, but I've got a few things that I've been loving over quite some time now, and I wanted to share them with you. Got some skincare, a little bit of makeup, and some hair stuff, so let's get started. The first item is from e.l.f., and it's this little silicone brush type of situation. It's not actual bristles, it's basically a little silicone paddle that's about the same size as, you know, certain makeup brushes might be. As soon as I saw this, I knew I wanted it not for makeup, but for face masks. I think that's actually what it's intended for, but a lot of face masks come in jars. Well, jar packaging is probably the worst thing in terms of preservation of ingredients. There are a lot of face masks that I have that I love that come in jars. And anything that comes in a jar that I'm actually going to put on my face, I refuse to use my fingers to dispense. I always get a little spatula or something like that, because underneath your fingernails is one of the dirtiest places on your body. It's dirtier than your actual asshole in a lot of cases. I'm not exaggerating. So up until this point, whenever I've had to use a face mask that is in a jar, I just use a cheap, actually an e.l.f. foundation brush that I think was $1 when I bought it, and I've just been using it forever. It's just annoying though, because you lose a lot of product that gets stuck in the bristles or just kind of mixed in there. So I love this because essentially no product gets wasted. You know, it's silicone, so there's nothing that can be absorbed. There's no bristles between which things can get trapped. I can just kind of dip into my jar, put on my face mask, and that's it. It's also got this other end that's got a brush on it. I've never used that. I can't remember if I got this from elf.com or if I just got it in a store like Target or something, but I'm sure it's relatively easy to find. I'll leave the specific name of it in the description box. Next up is a product that I first heard about from either Caroline Hirons or Stephanie Nicole, I'm not too sure. It took me a long time to get around to trying it because it is quite pricey. I originally got it in this little tiny size, which is the Lotion P50 1970 by Biologique Recherche. I'm sure I'm sharing that wrong. This is a liquid acid exfoliant. Because of the cost of it, I decided to get the small one. This is a 50 ml 1.7 fluid ounces, which I know 1.7 ounces is small, but when I got this, I was kind of shocked at just how small it was. This probably lasted me 3 weeks to a month, somewhere in that neighborhood. But honestly, I would say on my first or second usage, I knew that I loved this product. Now, first off, let me tell you, the smell of it is, it's pungent. Stings the nostrils. I'm used to it now, but consider yourself forewarned. This is a daily part of my skin routine now though, so after my first use, I went ahead and ordered the full size. This is the 8.4 fluid ounce. Same formula, they have a few different ones, but as I said, I have the 1970 formula. This is the formula that was actually created when the product first came out in 1970. That's why it's called that. So I just went with the OG one, but next time I'm going to try their PGM 500 or whatever it is. There's one that's more targeted toward dark spots and pigmentation, which I got, so I'm looking forward to trying that one out. And the only reason I kept this little bottle was for travel. It's empty now, but I've been out of town for 2 weeks or so at the time you're seeing this, and I knew I didn't want to be away for that long without having this. I mean, if I go on a short weekend trip, I'll do without it, but I do not want to be without this product for any stretch of time that's significant. So my plan is to just use this as my travel size for whenever I'm going on a longer trip, and I'll just pour some from my big size into here to be good to go. I use it every morning as part of my morning skincare routine. It's my morning exfoliant, and I love it. It is an investment, as I said, but clearly I just seem to get the best results from the most expensive skincare. Between the drunk elephant and this, I'm just going to be penniless. But at least I'll be really happy with how my skin looks. I'll link the specific site where I purchased this in the description box as well. Next up is another skincare item. This is an essence. If you're not familiar with what essences are, they're a little hard to explain, but as you can see, it's sort of a watery toner type of consistency. And these are basically extremely light moisturizers. A lot of Japanese and Korean brands make them. The most famous one is probably the one by SK-II, which I also really like, but this one's a lot less expensive, and it's got a lot of beneficial ingredients that aren't necessarily in in the SK21. Essences generally have some sort of fermented quality or ingredient which is supposed to help keep your skin looking youthful. It's supposed to be really good for anti-aging. I like this because the consistency is very lightweight. It's a little bit thicker than a water. I use this in the mornings as sort of my first layer of moisture after I'm done washing and then toning. I'll just put a few drops of this in my palm and just pat it all over my face, neck, and décolletage, and also the backs of my hands. And I feel like with continued use, because as you can see, I've been using it for quite some time, my skin has just continued to improve little by little. So I think I'm adding more steps into my skincare routine, which is not for a lot of people. A lot of people just want to wash, tone, and moisturize, and that's fine. I personally enjoy the ritual of actually taking care of myself and looking after my skin, but I also wouldn't do it if I didn't feel like I was getting benefits from doing all of these various steps. So that's why I do it. At this point, I borderline have one of those like 10-step Korean skincare routines that sound very excessive, but for me, the proof is in the pudding, and I'm fine with it. In terms of time frame, I've been using the Lotion P50, I would certainly say probably since January, if not before. And as far as the essence goes, probably about the same. I'm still on my first bottle of the essence, but I do plan to repurchase it. I only use it in the mornings. I do want to do an updated skincare routine one of these days, but it's one of those things where I actually have to remember to bring my camera with me into my bathroom, because normally, you know, I get up, I start my day, I do my skincare routine, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I'm supposed to be filming this. And that's been going on for like 3 months, but I do plan to eventually do an updated skincare routine. The next item I've been loving is this new Lash Enhancing Serum. I got this from Nordstrom over the holidays. It was in a gift pack where it was this full-size tube and then one smaller sort of deluxe sample, I guess. The smaller tube lasted me a good 2 months, I would say. So now I'm on the full-size tube of the 2 that came in that little gift set, and I've been using the serum overall since January for certain. Here's the thing though, I was this close to returning it, and right around the time I was just like, that's it, I've given this long enough, I'm taking this shit back, I noticed it started to work. If you've ever watched any of my Get Ready With Me videos, you already know that I'm on the no lash team. My eyes are just straight bald, basically. But with this, I've been using it now. We're in May. I guess by the time you're seeing this, it's probably June. I feel confident going out without mascara at all now. It's not like my lashes are out from here to Yaya. I'm not Jackie Aino all of a sudden. But what this has done is it seems to prolong the life cycle of the lashes I do have, so that rather than them shedding at their normal rate, they stay there longer and I just have more lashes overall. They are a little bit longer as well because much like the hair on my head, the curl of my lashes is not uniform. Most of them are extremely, extremely curly, and it's always been to the extent that my lashes are so curly that they're sort of like this. But now that they're longer, they're actually more like this. So they're able to grow longer to the point that they're almost curling back in and closing the circle. But then again, I also have a few lashes that are less curly or almost straight. And those are the ones where I can really see that the lashes are indeed longer and they're just kind of sticking out farther from my lash line than I've ever seen my lashes be. This is expensive. I think it's around $100 for the 0.2 ounce tube, but it is over the counter, and you know, if you wanted to go the route of Latisse or something like that, it would cost that much, if not more, and you would have to get a prescription. So I'm really happy with this. I am absolutely going to keep using it. I'll try to catch it on sale. I know that Nordstrom just had it for 10% off, so I ordered a new tube. So that's on standby for when this one runs out. It seems to me that the 0.2 ounce tube, which is the size that this is, will last you around 3 months possibly. I can tell that this one is starting to get low, so it'll be on to the next one soon enough, but I really love this because it actually has given me results, which I sort of can't believe. I'm an extremely skeptical person, especially when it comes to stuff like lash serums, but this one actually has worked for me. Moving on into makeup, I have 2 foundations that I have just been loving and reaching for a lot lately. The first is a high-end one. This is the Becca Aqualuminous Perfecting Foundation. I did an entire video with my first impressions on this in a full day's wear test. This foundation is just beautiful. I love it. I have it in the shade Tan. So long as I don't have to be on camera at work, this is the foundation I tend to reach for because I just feel like it looks lovely. And this is coming from someone with oily skin. Now, I've said repeatedly that my skin behaves more normally now due to my skincare routine that I've been working on over the past several years, but that doesn't change that my skin is inherently oily, so I have to kind of cater to that. And this is just a really pretty skin-like, not excessive, overly done looking foundation. I feel like it looks really natural as long as you don't cake on too many products on top of it. I love the finish. I love the wear of it. I just feel like my skin looks really nice when I wear this. I can't really say much more about it that I haven't already said in that video where I did the wear test, so if you want to hear more, you can just watch that. The next foundation is definitely a YouTube made me buy it foundation, but the good news is it's far cheaper than that Becca one, and it is the Wet n Wild foundation, photo focus foundation, I'm sorry, and I have the shade Cocoa. And let me tell you, I'm in love with the Cocoa. Dated reference. This is quite light in my opinion for a shade to be called Cocoa. Nonetheless, it's about as close to a match as I can find in almost any foundation. It really does match my skin really well. I'm wearing it right now. No color correction or anything, which is another thing I love about the Becca one. With neither of those do I feel the need to color correct before going in with my foundation. I especially love this one because I feel like it's super versatile. I can make it very matte, and I'm actually coming from a shoot I just did at work. So I need my skin to be uber matte whenever I'm going to be on camera at work because of our studio lights that make me look like a piece of fried chicken. So with this one, I just go in with a mattifying primer, set my primer with a light layer of powder, go in with this, and then powder my face afterward. And I feel like it lasts me all day. I've worn this to quite a few shoots now where I knew I was going to be shooting all day and I needed my makeup to last. And it didn't let me down. Some of the other people who were on the shoot, you know, getting their hair and makeup done were like, girl, what foundation is that? Because it looks really good. And I was just like, Wet n Wild, $5. It can be tricky to find the darker shades. I think there are maybe 2 to 3 more shades darker than this one that are available at this time. And I had to go to, I think, 4 stores before I was able to even find Cocoa. I went to 2 or 3 CVS's and none of them had any shades that were remotely going to work for me. They stopped at the 50 Shades of Beige situation. So CVS can eat a dick, but I was able to find this and the darker shades at a Walgreens. So perhaps if you go to a CVS that's in a more urban area, you'll have better luck. I don't know, but the first Walgreens I went to had my shade and more. Next is a pair of lashes. These are the Huda Beauty Farrah number 12. So you guys would have seen me wear this in my last video, the one that went up just before this. I don't know a ton about Huda Beauty. I know that she's a YouTuber slash Instagrammer, and now she's got eyelashes and I think some lip colors as well and some eye palettes. These I picked up straight off the shelf at a Sephora during one of their sales. I was just shopping, seeing if there was anything I wanted to get, and these looked really nice in the box. Very long and dramatic though, definitely for me at least, for on camera exclusively. And I love them. I love how they look, and oddly enough, even though the band looked sort of thick to me in the package, I had maybe the easiest time applying these as a brand new pair of lashes that I've ever had. My one gripe is that they're pricey for a synthetic lash. They're not mink or anything like that, but they're super pretty, super dramatic, and so easy for me to apply because I'm decent now at putting on lashes. I've had to do it so much being on camera over the past year, year and a half. But that doesn't mean that it's like I can just pop them on and be on my way, because my eyelashes are super duper curly like I was saying before. So just getting falsies behind my real lashes takes a lot of like futzing and adjusting, and it takes me several minutes typically to get my lashes in place. Easiest application that I can recall, and I don't know, I definitely will be repurchasing these. I think they look really nice. They seem to be holding up well. I've worn them 2 or 3 times now. They look almost as good as new, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I don't put mascara on my false lashes and stuff, and that helps them last longer. Very happy with this purchase. Last up, we have a couple hair items. The first one I'll just be quick because it's the She Sent It Restore and Repair Hair Mask. My previous video was all about this. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll link it right here, but I absolutely love this conditioner. I'm actually looking forward to using it again. It's like that. This is a great one. If you've never tried She Sent It, I would suggest including this in your first purchase. And the last item is another conditioner, and it's actually one that I've never used on my own hair. It's the Tresemme Luxurious Moisture for Dry or Damaged Hair. I love this for my human hair wigs. This is another unit by Luxury Tresses by Fab, aka Fabulosity is Me here on YouTube. I, at this point, would say I exclusively get all of my human hair from her. I've been branching out into human hair units over the past year, year and a half. I used to be exclusively synthetic because I'm not a huge wig wearer. I feel like I wear them more on camera just because it's a quick and easy way to kind of switch my look up and experiment with new looks. Whereas in real life, I kind of look the same all the time, and I think I like the idea of experimenting with my look more than I actually executed IRL. Anyway, this is a really great conditioner for her Indian light wave texture as well as her Indian wavy curly, which is what I'm wearing right now. I love this to either do a co-wash on my units, or if they're just in need of a refresher, I have a spray bottle that I have that's filled with mostly water and just a few squirts of this in there, shake it up, douse the wig, and if I want to get it just kind of really looking like new again, I'll really saturate it and just let it dry overnight, and it makes the hair look as good as new. It really works so well. I think it's a good conditioner because it doesn't weigh the hair down with a bunch of oils and butters or anything that would be great for my natural hair, because this is obviously a completely different hair type to my own, so it needs different products. And you can catch it on sale at the drugstore or Target or wherever pretty easily, so I love that about it. And that is it for my favorites. That is the shit that I am loving right now. I'm sure there are other things, but these are the ones that came to the front of my mind when I set out to do this video. Let me know if you guys have been loving anything hair or beauty or skincare related in the comments, and maybe I'll check it out. This might be the last pre-filmed video you guys see, or maybe the second to last. I'm not quite sure. I'm still sort of working out my scheduling. But I'll be back soon with videos that were filmed relatively close to when you guys actually see them soon enough. And in the meantime, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!
That's some nappy-headed hose there, I'm going to tell you that now.